I had been cautiously excited for The Batman when its first teaser released on August 2020. The movie had only been shot 25% till then, and I already fell in love with it. When the main trailer was released in December 2021, I knew that The Batman would be one of my most anticipated movies of 2022. After finally seeing it in theaters now, The Batman achieves all the things which I expected of it and much more. So, here's The Batman analyzed. The Batman is written and directed by Matt Reeves, who has arguably never made a bad movie in his filmography. His Planet of the Apes films and Cloverfield have had success both commercially and critically. For The Batman, Reeves looked to 1970s films for inspiration, including The French Connection, Chinatown, Taxi Driver, and the works of Alfred Hitchcock. There was definitely an inspiration from David Fincher's works such as Mindhunter and Seven as well, and for a character like Batman, these fit in perfectly. Reeves already had decided that the story would be a film noir, which would be focused on Batman being the world's greatest detective, a side which has been explored only minutely in previous live-action films. In this way, the film is very grounded, gritty, and realistic while also being fresh at the same time. Matt Reeves reread his favorite Batman comics, but did not base the film on a specific storyline. Particular influence came from Year One, Ego, and Zero Year. Reeves drew from the depiction of a young, inexperienced Batman in Year One, Catwoman's relationship to Falcone in The Long Halloween and Dark Victory, the exploration of Batman's psychology and his transition from exacting vengeance to inspiring hope in Ego, and the Riddler's plot to flood Gotham in Zero Year. Other elements, such as Alfred's characterization, Thomas Wayne's mayoral campaign, and Martha Wayne being part of the Arkham family, came from Batman Earth 1. While the theme of vengeance was inspired by Kevin Conroy's I Am Vengeance, I Am the Night speech from the Batman the Animated Series, the film also features references to other comic storylines, including No Man's Land and Hush. In portraying Bruce Wayne, Reeves wanted to depart from the traditional playboy and socialite because he listened to this Nirvana song Something in the Way. As he wrote the first act, he decided to base Bruce on reclusive Nirvana frontman Kurt Cobain. The Godfather character Michael Corleone also influenced Reeves' take on Bruce. Reeves sought to make the Batman relatable while honoring what people love about him, and described his Batman as still trying to figure out how to do this, how to be effective, and he's not necessarily succeeding. He is broken and driven. Although it does not depict Batman's origin, in which he witnesses the murder of his parents, the Batman still explores the emotional cost that it has on the character, with Reeves stating Batman that he is emotionally stunted at being 10 years old, because that's a trauma you don't get past. The Riddler is a forensic accountant who is inspired by Batman to become a serial killer who targets elite Gotham citizens and live streams his crimes. Reeves said Batman inspiring the Riddler reflects the idea from the comics that he creates his own enemies. He likened the Riddler to the Zodiac Killer, whom he felt was the real-life Riddler, for his practice of communicating with ciphers and riddles. The Catwoman, played by Zoe Kravitz, is a nightclub waitress, drug dealer, and cat burglar who meets Batman while searching for her missing roommate. Her moral ambiguity challenges Batman's black and white view of good and evil. Our other supporting characters include Jeffrey Wright as James Gordon, Colin Farrell as the Penguin, Andy Serkis as Alfred, and John Turturro as Carmine Falcone. When it came to light the darkness of the Batman's world, the cinematographer Greg Fraser wanted to emphasize the Dark Knight's glory by finding the right balance between darkness and lightness. The challenge was finding the perfect balance to show off the well-crafted suit created by costume designer Glenn Dillon, while playing into the idea of Batman being a shadow in the night. You can see this at play during the first few minutes of the film, as criminals are afraid to go into the shadows when they see the bat signal, because they do not know if Batman is there or not. The overarching goal was to try and capture a scene with as few shots as possible, so that we focus on only the things they want us to see. Something like this.